All right, so this is Leo. To understand Leo as a whole, so Leo was born out of the fifth house. Fifth house rules romance and creativity and self-expression and joyfulness and drama. Like that childlike spirit of really expressing yourself and expressing your creativity and the things that you enjoy. That's that's the fifth house. So the fifth house was born, or Leo was born out of the fifth house. The ruling planet of Leo is the sun. The sun is how you perceive things, your sense of self and how you do things, how you see the world, what you pay attention to. That's the sun. So with that being the sun and the sun being the ruling planet of Leo, they put the fifth house and the sun together. It shows that they act based upon um, their creative and self-expression. These are people that are um, going to express themselves, or this is through self-expression, creativity, through being likable and being center stage, or and being watched and being romanced. Because if you're not in the fray, if attention's not being drawn upon you, you won't be able to express yourself. If you won't get no attention, so attention is a very big thing, and you can, like, there's a lot, but I'll go deeper into that. But Pluto is exalted here, so Pluto represents transformation and change. Leo's given what a Leo is, or what I just explained, through the self-expression and the romance and shit like that. Pluto being a planet that causes change and transformation, whether it be positive or negative, that would bring more attention, wouldn't it? People seeing you going through a transformation, whether it being hectic or whether it being beautiful, being bliss, you turn into a little beautiful butterfly. It's still attention. It's still in the realm of attention. So, and then it being exalted there, meaning that Pluto gets excited there. It's going to its best friend's house for a sleepover. It has the potential of getting too excited, eating too much sweets. Overexhausting yourself. So maybe you can go transform too much, or not even transform too much, but yeah, transform too much. Change and transform things that don't need to be transformed in, just for the sake of getting attention, or it all falls down to that. And it's being opposed by Uranus, which makes sense because Uranus is the planet of individuality, individual purpose, and your sovereignty, how you act within life, or what your individual role within the grand scheme of things is. That's what Uranus is. And if you're a Leo, or not necessarily, but through Leo, the zodiac Leo, um, but being driven by attention and self-expression, it's like you always need a medium, or you always need an audience for it to be there, or not necessarily that you always need an audience, but being affected by these energies, or from being hit by this influence. It can be hard to find an individual role because we're being reliant with along other people, or hard to find individuality trying to be likable, or hard to, you know it's not that it being opposing doesn't mean that it's not there, or that energy's not present, but it's working against you, or that's what you have to combat with. Situations, people, places, and things are gonna pop up in, or manifest in your life, or likely to manifest within in that life, or likely to manifest. Let's just say that. Um, because of the attention that's being brought on it, because it's being opposed, because it has to work, it has to dip into a special bag, you know. So that's what you would have to learn, you know. Those are the lessons that would have to be learned on how to find your own individuality with this, and to find a sense of balance. And then a planet doesn't really fall here, so that would mean there's no planet sleeping here, so we don't have to worry about that. But so yeah, those are the components of Leo, and this is how you would get you know, people think that Leo would mean that you're going to be an actor or that you're going to be in the entertainment industry, but because it's dealing with these factors, attention and self-expression and romance, and but you can um entertain a lot of things, like like look at fucking instigators and fights. You know, they have nothing to do with that shit, but they're drawing attention from it. You know, they're drawing attention to themselves. You know, they're feeding off of that energy. Look at just see if you were to have like a Leo sun sign at work, working at McDonald's. You know, that's not being a fucking actor, but they're still acting like a Leo. They're still bringing expression to it. They're probably wanting to be, you know, that's probably like the people's manager or some shit like that, or the one that's always smiling at the customers, and you know, has the great posture and shit like that. You know, be looking good in front of the customers, being likable, and being able to chat and shit like that, and shit like that. Wanted to be on the cash register, always wanted to be on the register. They don't want to be in the back, or if they're in the back, you know, they be talking about some other shit, or they be all dramatic and shit like that. You see that anywhere within the workplace, you know, or those qualities can be also serve acting, you know. That's what makes, or would make you more primed or more likely to end up into that field of work. And then we also have it being fixed fire. So the modality of it is being fixed. That's the shape and form it takes. So cardinal, fixed, mutable, um, are the modalities. It being fixed is like sustaining itself, just like the sun. You know, the sun keeps on burning. It's not just a spark that's starting, and it's not something that's dissipating. It's something that's burning. Leo is that fire. Is like it's the campfire. The thing that keeps on burning. But for the campfire to burn, don't it need some wood? The audience get where that comes from. And then fire, the element fire being, so you have the right brain and the left brain, creative, intuitive, intuition and feeling and emotion, right brain, and left brain analytical, detail oriented, you know, thinking, communicating, all of that being the left brain. Fire would be the yang side of the right brain, because um it's pushing out what's on the internal. This is what you see and feel, you know. You're pushing out that internal world. You have to push out the images that you have within you for you to be able to see it. And this is before we get into the external realm and stuff like that. But you have to draw from a place for from you to be able to see your dreams, you know. You want to be a basketball star. You have to want to be a basketball star for you to see yourself being a basketball star, or anything. So that's where it comes from, fire being the yang part of the right brain, of the intuitive, or what the interior, if you get what I mean. So, and it being fixed fire, that means it's sustaining that, or it's being in a position of seeing and expressing and feeling, you know, or wanting to hold on to that. That's what can also make, that's where the self-centered energy comes from. That's where that domineering energy may come from, because remember, we're also dealing with the sun. But that also comes where the joyful and playful spirit comes, because it's not all negative. There's good and bad to everything. But yeah, that's Leo in a nutshell. ruling planet is the sun. It's fixed fire. It exalts Pluto, change and transformation, and it's being opposed and it's opposing to Uranus, individuality and sense of purpose and one's role within the grand scheme of things. But yeah, that's Leo in a nutshell.